Before going to school, a child's job, or occupation, is play. Learning to play is easier said than done. At infancy, babies play by themselves. But as children get older, they need to learn to play with others.
And it might seem like play is just in the scope of an occupational therapist, but playing with others actually also falls in the scope of a speech pathologist because play and language are inextricably linked. And sometimes children get stuck playing and talking with others. And that's where we can help.
So, what are the barriers that make it tricky for children to play and speak with others? And how do speech and OT work together to support this?
Well, Jaime, one barrier we might see is children actually knowing how to join a play activity, knowing what words to say when they go up to someone. And so if we're working together in a session, I can actually use Jaime to model this. I could say, "Hey Jaime, that looks really fun and I think I want to play. Can I play with you, or can I join?" Or I might model grabbing a toy and walking over and then suggesting a new play idea to model language to join the play interaction.
Another barrier might be the regulation. What happens if I want a toy, but someone else is using it? As therapists, we can support the child by acknowledging how they feel. And we might model in session, "I can see you really want that toy. That's really hard, and someone else has it. I wonder what we can do." Then we might model with the child how we can move through this problem.
Yeah, and a speech pathologist in the session, I might model language for, how do we express that feeling? How do we advocate for what we want? And it might even be language to suggest a solution to a problem that might have come up in the play.
And then as OTs, we might add on top of that and look at different ways and model the different ways that we can help our body to feel better and move through those feelings. Things like taking a deep breath or stamping our feet. Another barrier to playing with others might be keeping the play going with different play ideas. This is a skill that we call ideation. So as OTs, in our session, we might model different ways to use play materials. So, for example, a shoe could be a phone, a boat, or a house.
And as speech pathologists, we want to make sure that children have the language to actually express these ideas effectively. Sometimes in sessions, we'll see a kid and they've got this great idea, Jaime supported them and now we know what we want to do, and they hold up the shoe and they're like, "Let's use this to do that." And it's like, no, what's their idea? And as a speech pathologist, I might say, "Oh yeah, I can see a shoe. And I wonder if that shoe is going to be a house. I wonder if that shoe is going to be a phone, or maybe that shoe is going to be a big boat that goes on the water." And so we have our idea and we map the language on top of it. So joint sessions are not only fun because they're often play-based, but they're also effective in helping children to play and to communicate with each other.